Alright, here we go. So, I'm starting my second episode here. Alright. So, back to the Campbell saying he's a meathead thing. At surface, it seems like he's just trying to say, oh, he doesn't care what people think. But I think the guys in the locker room care what people think. Eventually they're just going to want to know, what is the game plan? What are we trying to do here? I don't know if he'll be a good coach, but I'm very concerned. I have a bad feeling about this. I don't like what I'm seeing here. Alright. So, Devontae Smith says he'd take Matt Jones over Tua Tagovailoa. And I don't even have a takeaway about this, but like I said earlier, Alabama can't produce good quarterbacks, but they can produce every other position well. Because, like I said, they have receivers like Julio Jones, running backs like Derrick Henry and Mark Ingram, and they have great defensive players in the NFL. So, I don't like picking a bust, but Mac Jones has a bigger chance of being a bust than Trevor Lawrence or Justin Fields. They can be a bust, but I think Jones has a better chance. Because, there are some weaknesses in Ohio State and Clemson. Obviously, they're very good colleges too, but Clemson, Deshaun Watson. They have Deshaun Watson, so... And let's look at Ohio State, what good quarterback did they produce? With Washington, Dwayne Haskins can be something special, but, the chances of it are, Fields looked good against Clemson, though, so that's promising. So I'd say Fields has a chance of being a bust and Mac Jones, but, I just think Mac Jones, he doesn't look particularly athletic, and he had a lot of luxury, so I'm saying he's the bust here. And finally, I didn't really want to cover this topic, but I might as well, Michael Pittman Jr. is going to wear number 11. Now, he's a rising star in the league. I kind of like him. I think he's going to do well next year. Now, there are certain situations where I would give up my number, like if I wore number 12 and Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers joined my team, because I'd give my number up to them because they're well respected by me. I respect Rodgers and Brady, so I'd give them number 12 if I were wearing it. So, Wentz still needs to prove himself, so, that's my only takeaway there. Don't know why I even wrote that down. So, alright. You guys know how this goes. I kind of have a mix of baseball and basketball for a while, and then to cap everything off, I recap the news in baseball from this day. Alright, so we actually had a lot of news today. Alright. So, here we go. Let's get some MLB music going here. There we go. So, the Diamondbacks and Tyler Clippard, my least favorite person in the world, have agreed to a contract. And he's played for 10 different teams, including with the Twins. Unfortunately, he did well last year. The reason I don't like it is because he wet the bed with the Yankees. So I'm a little annoyed with him. He's a two-time All-Star. He posted a 2.77 ERA last year. He's not a bad pitcher or relief pitcher. He had 68 saves in his career. He's capable. I think 1 year is perfect for the Diamondbacks. Diamondbacks are, they're kind of, I don't know where they really are. So, Tim Anderson was motivated after he talked with Tony La Russa, and he was a batting champion last year. His batting average as well is good. He's solid. He's a great player. I like that he was motivated by this, but and I think he was right with what he said yesterday. That the White Sox are a lot more talented than the Twins. I actually think they're the third best team in the league right now. I think they're better than the Yankees. Now, I hope I'm wrong as a Yankee fan, but I think they're more talented than the Yankees here. So Bartolo Colon, one of my favorite players actually, he actually went yard. He's a 47-year-old pitcher. He's like Tom Brady. He's ridiculous. I can't believe he's still doing this. I think I love the jokes about him, but all seriousness, that he's a really good player actually. 47 years old, still going. Alright, so the Giants add... No, not some minor. Never mind. Alright, so JD Martinez expects to bounce back, and he said I really wasn't prepared for last year. Now, I said this about Big Ben. You got to be prepared for the regular season. You got to be committed. And he had an MVP season not too long ago, so... he may have not won it, but... I think he will bounce back. He's 33. He might be regressing, but Blake Snell 2 years ago had an off year, and then last year was good. So and in the 2 seasons prior to this, he had a 300 batting average and 79 homers. So let's not freak out about this. Let's give him time. I think he's going to do well next year. I think JD Martinez is going to bounce back. Again, as a Yankee fan, hope he doesn't. So Garrett Cole says using analytics to make product worse is stupid. And Chris Bryant was kept in the minor leagues for 8 days after spring camp. In 2015, Cole also took a shot at the Rays for use of in-game analytics for pulling Blake Snell in the World Series. I agree with him. It is kind of stupid to use analytics in-game, Like, if you pull the pitcher too early in a pivotal game in the World Series, I would hope that next time you had an opportunity to get there, you would maybe make a different decision. Because, you shouldn't use... If you're working, don't listen to what analytics say. Like, don't listen to me. Don't listen to me right now, because if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So, alright. Alright. So I think that is all. Why don't I'll give off-season grades for the NL. Just for the NL. I'll do, AL maybe tomorrow. The Diamondbacks, they had some pretty good... I'm gonna give them a C-. Tyler Clippard was not a bad signing, but I'm gonna give them C-, because... they landed... Bumgarner last year and Starling Marte last offseason. And this has been a whole different series. So they failed to improve in a division that has the Dodgers and Padres. So they're in a bad position here. The Braves, I'm going to give a B+. I like what they did. They re-signed Ozuna, which is big. They do have some weaknesses at third base, and they didn't address that. The Braves are a top 10 team in my opinion. I think they're very good. They're in a good place. So the Cubs, they came back next season, but I'm gonna give them an F. Jonathan Holder was not a bad option, but they just didn't really go in at all. Reds, I'm gonna give a D. I mean, they got a lower grade. I mean, they could have received a lower grade, but they didn't blow up their roster, despite the trade rumors involving, Gray and all that. So, I mean, they lost Trevor Bauer, so that immediately brings them down. I'm gonna give them a C minus here, but losing Trevor Bauer was big. I mean, that's just not good for them, especially to a team like the Dodgers who just won the World Series. So, all right. The Nationals, I'm going to give a B to. They had a problem with rotation depth for years. Even though, this is a World Series hangover like you've never seen before. I don't know what's happening here, but they got Max Scherzer, Steven Strasburg, and Patrick Corbin. The Nationals added some pop at first base and what's his name? Josh Bell. So they did pretty good. I'm giving them a B plus, somewhere around there. The St. Louis Cardinals, I'm going to give a B plus too as well. They got Nolan Arenado. I'm going to give them an A minus. My bad. Nolan Arenado, big addition right there. Sorry, I just hit myself. But Arendo's a big addition. I think they're going to do pretty good next year. I don't know if they're going to beat the Dodgers, but I think they're going to be a contender. The San Francisco Giants, I'm giving give me a B. McGee is a good option. 2.66 ERA last year. And you did get someone. You did take someone from the Dodgers, even though that's not much there. The Pirates are getting a D minus. I don't know what they were doing. They lost Josh Bell. They lost Jameson Taillon. And I don't know if Taillon was that big of a... Obviously wasn't that big of a contributor, but Josh Bell was. And they're like primed to finish with the worst record next season, I think. The Phillies, I'm giving a B to. Good additions. It's an imperfect roster that needs to, help its rotation. But they're a good team. They got Harper. He's doing pretty well. They got some good additions. Didi Gregorius is good. So, the Phillies are a good team. I mean, they like I said, their rotation needs work. The Mets, I'm giving... This pains me. Give them an A. God damn it. Because they added a lot of depth, and... They acquired Linder. And they may have leapfrogged the Braves by landing a shortstop. But until they can guarantee Lindor stays beyond 2021, they're deprived of a perfect grade. So, yeah. Freaking Mets, goddammit. So I'm giving the Milwaukee Brewers a C minus, because, well, obvious reasons. They got decent additions, but a glove-first second baseman wasn't an area of need for them. They didn't really get anyone that they needed. So I don't know if I can't give them any more higher than a C minus. Miami Marlins, the Miami Marlins get